G'day all, welcome to another episode of AUKS Talks. I take it by this stage you've all already read the title of the video and you know what this is about. So before you write down in the comment section, I am well aware that I'm a little bit late with this. Just a little bit. Yeesh. But this video isn't a, hey guys, guess what's been announced? It's more of a point of reference for those who can't be bothered to look up what to look forward to. With that out the way, let's begin. Disclaimer, the following gameplay does not belong to me. Gameplay belongs to Milk and Cookies TW, which he has kindly given me permission to use. Link to the channel is in the description. As a quick fill in for those new to the game, if you liked Left 4 Dead, then you will love Vermintide. The gameplay is very similar as you and 3 other players team up to hack and slash your way through endless amounts of baddies. In this case, enemies known as Skaven. There are special enemies such as the Ripped Rat Ogre, which as you can see in this picture, is a lot like the tank from Left 4 Dead. Developed by Fat Shark, who you may know for their game War of the Roses, which was, truth be told, actually not a bad game until they removed the Australian servers, so it made it almost impossible to win any fights with the horrendous lag. Sorry, I'm getting a bit sidetracked. Vermintide is set in the Warhammer fantasy universe. Players team up to fight against endless waves of rodent-like species known as the Skaven that have just very nearly taken over the city known as Uberstrike. But after the heroes succeed in pushing the Skaven back, the four have taken their crusade outside the city walls. Number 1. Which brings me to my first point, the new locations. No longer will you lumber through dark alleyways or filthy rat-infested buildings of Uberstrike. Now players can take a much needed jaunt through the fortress of Helmgart. I hope I said that right. Not a lot of information has been released as to the extent of the maps you'll be able to explore, but from what it's been shown, it's a nice break from its predecessor. This game looks so detailed and beautiful. That being said, it might be a bit hard to take in the countryside while you're being stabbed in the kidneys by demons. Number 2. New enemies. That's right, the second and probably the biggest change to the game are the new enemies, Chaos and Nurgle. After being pushed back, the Skaven have skidded away and forged a pact with foes of the Resistance. While the Chaos and Nurgle worship gods of chaos under the same general idea of destruction, the two are not to be mistaken as the same. Most Chaos Warriors are tribes of human barbarians that occupy the very northern tip, known as the Northern Waste, which is a very harsh and unforgivable place. These barbarians worship different gods of chaos. Nurgle, also known as the Plague God, is the god of disease, decay, and death. You will see the presence of Nurgle in the form of demons and his human followers. Skaven will also be making an appearance, of course, with the addition of Storm Vermin using Sword and Shield and a new mutated rat ogre known as Storm Fiend. This image I'm showing you here, it's not confirmed what it will look like in the game, but as a point of reference you can see that the Storm Fiend uses fire throwers that are surgically attached. I'm actually super happy to hear that there are new enemies for the Skaven, as after a while the waves felt a bit dull. Number 3. Career paths. Fat Shark realized that when it boiled down to it, there wasn't too much to differentiate each hero, which made everyone feel kind of the same. So now, each hero has been granted 3 career paths, which each have their own playstyles and perks. Each path comes with its own passive active ability, such as Carillion, who can be a Dark Elf shade, that grants her momentary invisibility and the ability to phase through enemies to escape those sticky situations. This seems to have been accepted with open arms by most of the community, but I'm gonna have to say this right now, I don't think I like it at all. For me personally, and I realize other people will interpret this completely differently, as you know, everybody is different, but for me, game 1 was all about skill. Learning how to time your attacks, manage how you take your hits, blocking and strafing. It was down to a real sense of skill. But saying that, I do also understand that it also helps out people who aren't too good or are learning the game, and at the end of the day, you know, you don't have to use those skills. Number 4. Heroic deeds. This is a new mechanic that is unlocked through the looting system, in which you are given a task to complete each time you start a new game. As an example, it could only be using ranged weapons for an entire map, playing solo, or maybe even using the worst weapons in the game to complete a map. I'm actually really excited for this, as it keeps things interesting every time you start a new game, and it would give yourself a feeling of accomplishment when you complete a deed. I could also see members of the community using this feature to create some hilarious mods, which actually brings me to my last part. Number 5. Modding. This feature will be available on the day of launch for official servers. It's unknown to what extent of the game will be available to be modded, but I would say you'd have a lot of freedom. This is just my personal opinion, but I think creating a custom maps and changing some gameplay would be possible, but I'm not too sure about the character models. I don't know, it's just, for me personally, I just think it seems like something the devs would want to leave alone. There's still a lot more information to come about what else there is, so we'll just have to wait and see what else is new. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could leave a like. This has been Lee, thanks for watching.